them, I would just make an office out of Lamborghinis. I would just stack them up into walls and like, look at this. Look at my Steam money. I feel like somebody should do that. No?
All right.
So you want to ruin your Lamborghinis and also lose all your money?
Oh, you can have one you drive around.
Oh, okay. Well, that changes it.
I don't know how stacks of things work.
You can have an extra one. That's what I do with my Steam money. Just flex. Flex with my cubicle.
Why would you still have a cubicle?
Just-
You got enough
Because it's a flex, man. It's the most expensive cubicle in the world.
Yeah.
It's made out of Lamborghinis.
It's just out in the parking lot. Just a bunch of Lamborghinis. This is where I work. Nobody else can park here. I take up all the spots with Lamborghinis. Good luck.
You just have extension cords coming all the way to the parking lot.
Yep.
Just pouring gas in and turning your Lamborghini on to use it as a generator for your computer. Flexing. I feel like that's what they're doing over there at Valve. Just doing absolutely
I honestly
nothing.
don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They haven't made any useful
They're just a
progress
black
on
box
anything.
that
No, I think they literally just play ping pong and take naps.
Yeah.
So I don't think they do anything.
I'm not going to conjecture as to what they do. It could be a cult. I have
it might be.
I have no clue.
I know they used to make games, and then Steam happened, and now they don't. Because making games is really hard.
Epic is trying to shut that whole party down. They made their own storefront, and they're like aggressively attacking Steam, which is insane.
Like, hey, we got the Division 2 exclusive.
I hope someone gives Steam a run for their money. So I have probably more games in my Steam library than anybody else I've ever met, because I'm very stupid and get lots and lots.
And there's
of
a thing
bundles.
called Humble Bundles.
Yep, I get all of those and have been doing that for years. So I have thousands and thousands of games in my Steam bundle or my Steam library. And honestly, if another company comes along and does what Steam should be doing better than Steam and they drive it into the ground, and I would be happy because that would be a better product.
All I'm saying is that's a big assumption to imply that it will be better in any way.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to bank that Epic's going to be the one to do it, or that Ubisoft's going to be the one to do it, or that EA is going to be the one I don't know who's going to do it. But
It's going to be Disney.
it miit be Disney. I don't know. I hope someone does a good job.
Yeah.
I hope the best.
I that's why I just kind of go on my Xbox. It just works. It does pretty good.
They also have a lot of bullshit on the Xbox
They
and
sure do.
PlayStation stores.
Yeah, don't go to the stores.
You can't just look for a game is the problem. You have to just
Know the
come
game.
across one or be recommended it specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
The number
that's
of
what I'm
games
saying.
that I'm like, oh, this is a phenomenal game, that somebody had to go, hey, have you heard of this thing? I'm like, no, not at all. They're like, oh, you should go play it. I go, oh, that's my new favorite of that thing.
Yeah, you think it'd be fine if Xbox hired like one or two people to just go play games and be like, yo, this shit's actually good.
Yeah.
Promote that shit.
Put it in a section for good games.
Like, there's got to be somebody around
how,
who
like-
has some taste.
You know how like Blockbusters, how they used to have a local Blockbuster where each of the people that were full-time employees there would have a little section like recommended by Gary and recommended by Marv.
It's just
And they'd have
hentai.
their well, some of them would, and you figure out which one you liked.
Okay.
Not hentai, but oh, I agree with Gary, and he usually his recommendations are pretty good.
All right.
It's called influencer culture now, and there's a whole.
That's unfortunately specifically what Steam tried to do. They
I
gave
remember
their
that.
whole curation process up and said, like, all right, this person has this list. You should listen to this person. And that did not solve the problem. So I don't think that's the answer.
I have a curated page on Steam because I did it a long time ago.
What'd you put one game on there and then forgot?
I went through a list of games that I thought were good.
A bunch of farming simulators. And
Yeah, Clicker, and that was before Clickers.
Well, people supposedly love those things.
What, Clickers?
No, farming sim.
Yeah,
and clickers.
I've got some farming.
Do you have a
simulators.
farming clicker yet?
Yeah. Those
I think,
Yeah,
that's, I
there's
think
a-
that's Farmville, right?
yeah. I don't play Farmville.
That's the original.
But I've had so many different farming.
That was the
clickers.
original game.
I recently went through about every single weed farming clicker that I could find.
Did you play them all?
Yeah.
Just so you could learn how to start your weed business?
No, clickers.
I'm just kidding.
They're not instructional.
Yeah.
Mine are.
Oh.
They're like press this, and Snoop Dogg goes woo or whatever he does, and then
Yo, you did good, fam, or whatever.
well, I think one of them was Wiz Khalifa's
Oh yeah.
Weed
Yeah.
Incorporated something or other.
That sounds
I'm
about
mixing
right.
like 3 different titles together.
I wonder if Wiz Khalifa's are like, I wish I could stop smoking weed. He's like, this is my brand now, so I just smoke weed like it's air.
I doubt he minds.
Yeah, maybe not.
If I had to guess.
I would also wager he does not give a shit about that. But yeah.
Well, he can't stop.
Clickers and weed clickers and night clickers and
I thought you didn't like nights.
I don't like the night clickers.
Okay.
Those are
You still give them a shot though.
Because they're bad games or because they have
very
nights?
good.
I like the company clickers where you like build little businesses or run an airport or a mall. Some of them have an island that you just,
How many of these games are there?
tens of thousands.
Jesus.
No, at least 100 new ones every day.
Yeah,
Can you just go in like
I
Unity or
download-
something and just click clicker now and it just builds one?
I download probably 5 new games a day.
Huh.
Yep. And I try them and I play them for a little bit and then if I like
Again,
them,
how the fuck do you have that kind of time?
I don't know. Just long shits. That's the only thing I can think of.
I
Well,
can't
I'm gonna
even
devote
text
this
people
3 hours.
promptly enough.
No.
Like
I
I'm like,
seriously
oh
have-
shit, that was from 5 hours ago, and then I gotta.
Yeah, I have an email I want to reply to. I'm just not.
Yeah.
I can tell you I've reduced my device screen time down to about 7 hours a day
Okay. Well, there you go.
on my phone. And
That's
that's
your
just
phone
my
screen
phone.
time?
Phone screen time.
Huh.
It was
Did you get a
like-
phone built into your glasses?
I was like, I got the notice this morning about you're down so many % from last week. You're down to about 6.5 hours. And I was like, yay, I'm spending less time on my phone.
Nice.
So
You're down by 6.5 hours?
no, I'm
Two,
down
6.5.
to 6.5
Oh, okay.
hours.
I was like, Jesus.
If I had to guess, I'll bet mine is 45 minutes.
I think on bad days, I have like 2 hours. But that's when I'm like,
Days where
I'm
you
just,
fall off the wagon.
Yeah, well, I'll just be like, oh, it's Saturday morning. I'm not getting up for a while. I'm just going to turn the TV on and just swipe up on Facebook for a while and find memes and stupid videos. And
Yeah, I use my phone instead of sleeping. You know, watch the ads to get the multipliers on the clickers. And I'll just go through all of them. And
what's your favorite ad?
there's one right now that is
He has a favorite ad.
Well, of course. He just told me how often he watches ads.
there's one for this Lord's mobile game that
it
is
have notes in it?
absolutely nothing like the game. There's like a 3D ninja fighting dragon. And I was like, I wonder what that game is. Well, I already knew what that game was, and it's not that.
Okay, well, I was also disappointed when that Kate Upton commercial. It was just not live action. Arnold Schwarzenegger was not in my phone. Sorry, did you see those ads?
Yeah, Forge of Empires.
Okay, there we go. I didn't remember, but
FOE.
that turned out that was not what the
company
game was
made
like.
a fuck mountain of money.
Oh yeah, they are now Valve, and they just sit there playing ping pong.
Well, are they owned by Tencent? Because
Oh, probably.
Tencent's the biggest, hands down.
Yep, far and away. Yeah, the earnings report for the industry or the industry report for corporate earnings are up or are out. That's such
Up
a
and
just
around
keep
and
moving on.
in
We got
and
this.
out.
We got it. We got it.
Down to
Just keep
party.
moving.
That's
Yeah,
what
the
those
party
earning
happened.
reports are.
What's the number party?
What?
This is Matt's number party. What's the number?
Yeah, give us a number.
7.
It's not nearly as high as what I thought.
Yeah,
it
that's a
would
pretty low earnings report.
No, Tencent kicked the shit out of literally everyone else.
be. Okay. Like every company ever.
Yeah, all of the gaming companies, Tencent,
All right.
easily number one.
Blizzard's like, we did good. And Tencent's
Blizzard,
like, no.
yeah, Activision Blizzard was like 8.
Tencent owns a large part of Activision.
Oh, do they?
So
All right.
it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, there was Valve and EA and Activision Blizzard and, game companies.
Yeah.
They're on a list ranked by how
Whatever
much
those
they're-
I don't
jerks
really-
are. Where was that bathroom? How about that's a good way to end the episode.
It's over there.
I'm gonna leave and go to the bathroom.
It's over there. Do we,
All
need
right,
to,
corner.
do we need to pause it? Or no?
I'll figure it out.
Make fun of Jacob while he's gone.
No.
Just kidding. I don't have anything to make fun of him about.
I am so fucking tired and hungry right now. I worked out with my personal trainer today, and I'm doing that twice a week, and it's just kicking the shit out of me. My whole body hurts, and I'm trying to do branch chain amino acids, and
I don't know what that means, but they're supposed to be good for you.
yeah, it's supposed to rebuild and repair.
So you take them after
Yeah.
you work out?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I keep trying to go to the gym between 2 and 4 times a week, depending. I've started doing this thing with instead of like sitting there and doing squats and shit, I set the bicycle to an outrageous number and do it for 3 minutes straight. And then I take a break and then I set it to that number and do it for 2 minutes straight. and that destroys my legs.
Yeah.
It also does cardio at the same time. So
What we've been doing is if the weather is nice out, we go out to the field and I push a sled.
all right,
That is a full body workout.
yeah, we have a sled set up
And then
in
do
our.
push-ups. I think we've got some good banter for the bonus episodes. We talked about lifting weights and branched chain amino acids, and
We'll also just talk about bonus episodes, how cool they are.
I think BCAAs are a myth.
I don't
Are
know,
they?
man. They make me feel better.
Okay.
So I've been fucking myself up at the gym. So I'll tell you, I weigh too damn much, and doing squats and pushing sleds and doing push-ups and any body weight exercises are brutal. So like I can feel my muscles crying, and then I'll take some BCAAs or some recovery stuff, and they feel better, and I can wander around and go do stuff and walk. And if I sit in a car for too long, so if I go work out and I sit in a car for too long and I get out, I'm just like 1,000 years old and I just can't move. And
I also feel like that if I get a hard workout.
you're just
I
a
feel
wee
very
youngin'.
wise. That's what I meant. I felt
My
very-
muscles feel wise.
My muscles feel wise, like they're 1,000 years old.
But after seeing
My quads know a lot of shit, you guys.
Up, down, up, down.
I went and saw Avengers Endgame last night. After
Can't talk
seeing
about
that-
it yet, unfortunately.
I apologize, everybody.
After seeing that, I told my trainer, so I'd like to get Thanos big. And he goes, yeah, he's a big fucking dude.
Okay.
He's also CG.
Big and purple.
That's
That's
not-
what I want to be.
Big,
Well, if you,
purple, and
I think you
veiny.
work out hard enough, you get purple.
Yeah.
At least for a little bit.
The Hulk's too big. He's a cartoon.
Yeah.
But Thanos
Well, not
is-
Thanos. He's real.
I presume if you just work out enough, you pop Josh Brolin chin.
Yeah.
That's how that works.
Well, all those lines are
Our muscles.
Yeah, that's
They're
a muscle.
individual muscles.
those are chin
But
muscles.
he's got chin knuckles. That he just, it's like a fist. His whole head's a fist. Yeah.
That's not a spoiler if you tell me he chin punched somebody.
he didn't.
There
he did
was
not. I don't think
there was a headbutt that was
Was it
of
with his
some
chin?
sort of.
Was
It,
an
it was
up,
not a chin butt.
up chin?
It
butt?
was not a.
It was a
chin
butt chin, but not a
Yeah.
chin. No.
He's got like all the butts
Yeah, he's
on
got
his chin.
5 butts on his chin.
Yeah, 5 purple butt chins. Whatever they are.
Well, there's our episode title.
Good name for a podcast.
5 purple butt chins.
It's like when he was first shown, it's like, well, that's stupid. And then you watch the first movie and like, he's really cool. It's neat. I am very much looking forward to the movie. And next time we will talk about it.
So are you all caught up on Game of Thrones? Do you want to talk about that?
I gave up on Game of Thrones.
Which season?
I got all of them.
Oh,
I
Even
watch.
the ones I saw, I gave
No,
up
I
on.
watch it, but then I'm just like, I don't think I care.
yeah.
But
That was my immediate impression.
Do you-
the first 10 minutes of the show? So
Did you
I
watch
don't
it?
give any shit about
Okay.
anything.
do you want to talk
that
about
has
it? Because
ever
I'll listen
happened.
to it.
Nah. It doesn't
Okay.
matter.
I'm sorry. I don't care. I know that the main guy and the main girl make out or something because everybody wanted to see that, and then they ride dragons romantically because I saw the trailer.
This is actually better
got
than
shipped together.
This is actually better than Game of Thrones.
Is it?
Brooks, retell what you think
What I think happened?
Yeah.
without having seen it.
Well, based on what everybody says, the best stuff was the J.R.R. Martin, G.R. whatever his name is, Martin. And then he stopped writing it, and then everybody took over for the last season. So they just started doing what everybody wanted. So they're like, oh, kill Littlefinger and make the main people make out and make the dragons bigger. And that was the show, right?
It's fan fiction.
Yeah, and they're like, show that the little girl is super cool now. I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah, she can like do the Mission Impossible stuff with her face and pretend to be people, and also be taller.
Yeah, this all checks out. You're doing a great job.
Yeah, and then the kid who can't move but can roll his eyes back does that a lot.
That is
He doesn't move and also rolls his eyes a lot.
Yeah, he just kind of like vibrates the top of his body and rolls his eyes back, and then he wakes up and he goes, "You have to carry me somewhere." And they're like, "Fucking for real?" Like, okay.
so far you're nailing it.
And I gotta say, if it was on purpose, this is the dumbest shit I've ever heard of. Hold door. Really? I'm done. I'm fucking over this shit.
Wasn't that like years ago?
No, I know.
Weirdly, a lot of spoilers in this, but they're a year old.
They're old as shit.
Years old.
I haven't
spoilers.
watched the new stuff, so I'm just kind of spoiling fake stuff and making things up. That's what I'm saying. I've been out every season. I'm like, I think I'm done, and I watch the
That
next
one
season.
guy did have to hold the door, apparently.
Yeah, his name's Hodor. All he says is Hodor.
So his future self was influencing his past self to say Hodor?
It's pretty.
Was that what was happening?
It's what I would call genius.
What?
Just kidding. It was one of the dumbest things I've ever seen in my life. It seemed like they're
Genius in quotes.
I'll eventually watch the thing, I guess. Next time HBO is like $2 that I can add on to Hulu. Or next time, is Silicon Valley out yet?
No, I'm
Okay.
really sad about that.
I'll get HBO when Silicon Valley comes back out.
Yeah, Barry is great.
Oh,
Barry is the best.
there another season?
Yep, dude. Barry is one of my
That shit
favorite
is-
shows on
No,
television.
no spoilers for the second season, though.
No, I will not
Oh, yeah,
spoil
yeah.
anything.
No, I will watch that. I forgot about that. Then I'll watch Game of Thrones.
Bill Hader's face in several scenes made me laugh uproariously.
On purpose?
Yeah,
Okay.
they intentionally made it real silly.
Okay, that's all I need to hear.
There's one episode.
Yeah, we'll get to it.
Yeah, we'll
very
get
soon.
there. There's one.
We can talk
episode
about the first season.
You should watch it.
Watch the first season.
Matt is bursting at the seams to say whatever this one episode did.
I know. All I got to ask is there more of the bald guy?
Yes,
Because I love that dude.
he is the best character. He's so great.
He's the nicest bad guy I've ever seen, and I like him so much. Just the ending of that season where he's like making up to the cartel guy. It's like the greatest shit ever, and he better be the main bad guy.
He is very funny in this season as well.
He's like getting you a water while like shooting you at the same time. Like, you're not thirsty anymore, right? Okay, bang.
He is even more ridiculous and flamboyant and hilarious.
Perfect. I forgot about Barry.
Yeah,
I will watch the shit out of that show. Along with Silicon Valley. I wonder when that's coming back out.
I am really excited to see more Silicon Valley because I really like that whole show, but I don't know.
Were you super attached to TJ Miller?
No, I was not.
I was actually glad he went away.
He did help the show quite a bit.
I think it's pretty good without him.
Yeah,
but
it's
they
still
probably
good.
needed him at the beginning. I think they needed him. I'm glad he's gone. I think everybody else can hold it on their own now.
So in real time, apparently know some people who might know Ellen Page. I'm being told somebody is listening to our podcast and contacting me from a previous episode. They might have a lead on Ellen Page.
Oh, I totally forgot I talked so much shit about him.
I thought that was in a bonus episode. No, I guess not, though. Huh.
So I'm reading it off of my watch right now.
I totally forgot I did that. Well,
All right, well, now you're going to suffer the consequences.
all right, Ellen Page.
I'm never going to pursue that direction. That's not going to happen. So I just thought it was really funny that we're sitting here recording this and that comes through.
That's pretty funny.
I wouldn't say no to a quote from her saying, "Fuck you, Brooks."
That would be pretty
if
cool.
we can get her to send that in.
If she sends me that quote, I'll get it tattooed on me somewhere.
Oh, right. We have a bit now.
Oh, man.
All right.
I'll get fuck you, Brooks, Ellen Page. Whatever she wants to say.
We're okay.
As long as it's not too long. If it's ridiculously long, I'm not getting a back piece.
Yeah, I
I'll get something
All
like
right.
calf.
Now I've got some. We'll see what we can do.
We'll see what we can do.
I'll see what we can do here.
I'll get
Knowing the lengths at which you're willing to go makes this.
Well, we don't have to force it.
We don't have to force it.
Nothing is forced. You have to make everything happen.
Well, that's okay.
So
Might be true.
I'm excited about wherever this may lead. If it's nowhere, it's nowhere. If it's somewhere,
Can we just find someone that looks a lot like Ellen Page?
Oh, I'll know.
Okay. Speaking of Overlord,
Yeah.
oh yeah,
Ooh, yeah.
we're
Let's
gonna
talk about
that
that.
that one actor was in Umbrella Academy
Yep.
and Overlord, and Ellen Page was in Umbrella Academy.
And she was also
Full
that
circle.
monster running.
That was a good segue.
I made it.
You're welcome.
I did the segue.
Good job.
Now go. I'm out of material from there.
All right, Brooks.
For Overlord?
You saw Overlord.
Did you watch it?
We saw
Yeah.
Overlord. We've all seen Overlord. Let's talk about it.
All right. I think movies need to stop taking so much time showing that Nazis are bad, because we know that. Like they spend a lot of time
Do
being
we
like,
know that though? Because
Yeah.
society seems to be a bit confused on this at this point in time.
not when you go back to World War II. Even
So
people.
now current Nazis
No,
are okay.
no, I bet neo-Nazis are like, yeah, those were bad Nazis. We're good ones.
Yeah, we're not like those Nazis.
Yeah, we're not like those Nazis. They're like, yeah, you show me World War II. Those are evil Nazis.
I don't know. They do, I think, unironically say Heil Hitler sometimes.
Well, they might. I don't know if they even know what it means. They just think it sounds cool.
They don't know what that means. It means like hello in French, right?
It's pretty close.
That's what that means.
It says, yeah. I'm just saying.
I agree with your point.
They need to stop sitting there and
They
being
don't
like,
need exposition to explain
Yeah.
that Nazis are bad. And
I
that
would
killing them is
have liked to
bad
see more
or is
monsters
good.
instead of just seeing them look through a window at some people holding someone and then shooting them and then.
So let's talk
kinda
about what Overlord is. It is a movie set in a war, World War II era time.
To be exact, it was World War II.
Yep.
Yeah, it's World War
The
II.
one with the Nazis.
The one with the Nazis. And they try to break into a base, and there's some experiments. And
It's Wolfenstein.
yeah, it's Wolfenstein-y.
Yeah, it's Wolfenstein the movie.
Yeah.
That's what I thought about.
Which I thought was mostly pretty good. There's some parts where they just should have skipped showing that Nazis were evil, and that would have been cool.
It would have certainly sped it up a little bit.
Yeah, just there for a second, the pacing got a little slow. It started out really strong. Like I thought the whole scene with them on the plane, introducing the characters and their personalities was good, and then the whole the plane got shot up, and they had to jump out. And I thought all that was pretty good. And then they got to the village, and it's a little boring for a little bit.
So I have to say, I don't quite agree.
You didn't like the?
They kind of tried to pull a Tarantino
Yeah.
with the village, and they were just like, all right, this is just going to be a really long, tense scene, but in a supernatural zombie thriller, I don't know if you can pull that off.
Yeah, I think that's what was my problem with it. I was like, this isn't the same movie. Yeah.
So
What was your take on it?
My take was I started watching this movie. I put it in. I started watching it and went, what am I watching? And so I paused it, and then I watched the trailer for it to see if this was even a movie I wanted to see.
Okay.
Because I forgot what it was. And so I watched the trailer and went, oh, it looks a lot more exciting than everything I've seen thus far. And that's when the airplane started to get shot up, and that's where everything happened. I literally paused it 1 second before that happened.
I think they only talked for like 5 minutes before the plane exploded.
But that was too many minutes.
Oh, I thought it was pretty like.
I
thought it was decent.
was so bored. I was like, oh man, this movie has to pick up at some point.
I thought they were doing it pretty quick. They're like, hey, here's this guy, and he says like 2 things, and you're like, oh, okay, I get that guy. And then next guy, he says 2 things, and then once they got through everybody, the plane explodes.
As soon as the plane,
and you're like, I'm already done.
bullets start hitting the plane, the movie sort of takes off from there, and then they're running around trying not to get blown up with landmines.
I was
and
more
there's-
annoyed by the 45 minutes of. They were in France, right? With the French girl.
Yeah. The plot was they had to blow up a communications tower so that their allied troops could land at Normandy the following day.
Gotcha. I didn't hear the word Normandy. I gotcha.
Yes.
But yeah, the whole thing about trying to be friends with the French girl and then the boy with the goddamn baseball was driving me insane. And then,
So you just don't like tension.
no,
Not if it's not tense.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair enough. You know what?
If it's artificial tension, then yeah.
Forget what I just said.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just didn't.
So
the
remember-
pacing was so fucked up.
Remember
in
all
my
this
opinion,
really
right there?
good scenes from Inglourious Bastards or Christoph Waltz was just it was a masterpiece of
They
of
just
tension.
seem to be copying that.
They did
sort
that
of,
not as well.
Yeah.
But then once they got past that, I think it picked up a little bit.
It kind of made sense because then they were able to make that guy the main villain.
yeah, I think
And he
Yeah.
came back later, and so it's not like it didn't need to be there at all. They just kind of
I
handled
think
it a
they could
little
have
awkwardly.
sped it up. A
They
bit,
certainly
or-
did a good job of making you want that guy to be. I mean, to see whatever.
Yeah, if I was trimming the
conclusion
fat,
is.
I would have taken that kid out. He did not help the movie at all. Shit
And
was
give
stupid.
more time to whoever the head scientist was that was
Yeah.
conducting all these experiments on people because he
Yeah,
only
I
showed
want-
up for 2
He was
seconds.
Yeah, I would
in
like to
like
see that.
literally 3 scenes, and in the background, was like, "Hey, are you okay?" Or like, "Hey, you should not do that."
Yeah.
and then he's like there at the
It
very.
seems like a crazy
Yeah.
German supernatural scientist would.
They didn't need to spend as much time explaining to us how like sewer grates worked and instead could have spent more time developing that character as
Yeah,
character.
Yeah, there's one part where the bad guy comes in and starts injecting himself with a bunch of needles, which is kind of cool. But then the guy who's been injecting every fucking person is looking at
Tells him
this
to stop.
half-dead guy is like, don't do that. We haven't tested on alive people. You think he'd be like, hell yeah. Fucking step. Here's
Like,
more.
oh, let me write down
He
what's
should be like,
happening.
get more needles. Give him more needles.
Yeah.
And he's just on his clipboard watching this insane
Yeah,
shit.
that would've made more sense.
That would have been
Yeah.
awesome.
Especially because it worked.
Especially if he would have like died or something.
Yeah.
Killed him. And he's like, yes, I'm being killed. It's like, oh, cool.
Well, but Jacob's exactly right. It all worked out fine. So
Yeah, so he had the right formula.
Like whatever thing that they did there, scientifically, you go, oh well, that was a success. Let's
was right.
replicate that because that's the right combination.
Well,
of
it turns
whatever.
out we did replicate it because there's needles everywhere. There's just all littered all
I
over.
guess they were mostly failures because they turned into crazy,
Yeah.
mindless zombies, which I guess they didn't want, even though that seems fine to me.
Well, some of them seemed like they were useful because some of them seemed very controlled. Like the guys who just walked in at the end, like it looked like he was going to fight them. And they were like, what's up? I can take orders. I'm a zombie.
I do really like that upstairs scene where they bring the one kid back to life.
yeah.
That was a
good scene.
was a
That
good
might be
scene.
the best scene in the movie.
yeah.
His whole head ripping completely backwards and then coming back and then being like, what the fuck? I was like, yeah.
What did you do to me?
That was my thought. He's like, what'd you do to me? And then
Yeah, they said what the audience was thinking out loud several times in that scene.
I got to say, I wanted to see more of what they did where they just put like what seemed like bags for replacements of legs and then like exploded them into the air. Did you see all the blood and gore and just like what looked like bodies just flopping around
In the airplane, yeah.
Yeah, in the airplane. That didn't seem to be in the rest of the movie as much.
Very few people actually died after that,
Yeah.
honestly, like on camera.
Yeah, the most deaths were in that airplane.
I did enjoy the scene where they're walking through and that one dude just turns into a pink mist. He just steps on a landmine and explodes.
Oh, yeah.
And then the main character was just like, oh my God, he was there. And then he wasn't there. And you're like, yeah, that's...
He basically said, so let me tell you about the dream that I have in life. See, I've been writing this now. Bam.
Yeah, he's like, hey, I can use your photos. That'd be great. This would be awesome.
Yeah.
Like you're both
Let's
making
team
money.
up and make
Yeah, this is gonna be awesome.
In the future, and then
Yeah.
he's liquefied.
I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah.
Like
They,
that was
they
pretty
did a
good.
good job of exploding characters
messed up.
right as they were becoming interesting.
Like, oh, I think I like this guy and I want him to survive the movie. Oh, never mind.
Guess not.
yeah.
I guess this is Game of Thrones, huh? Just kill the guy I like, leave the ones I don't. I didn't actually like the main guy. I thought he was super annoying, but that's just me.
Okay.
Everything that happened, he was like, no, don't
Seemed like a
torture
fine everyman type of person.
There we go.
You know,
Yeah.
one of them had to be kind of normal, right?
Yeah,
Guess.
the rest of them were just kooky characters. Like,
Yeah,
they reminded me of the characters from Anthem, where they were just like, "I'm so over the top, I'm New York guy," and you're just like, "All right, New York guy," and he's like, "Talk to me when it's about frankfurters and."
I wish we
big
had
shit." Yeah,
wish we had pizza in space.
yeah.
What?
I agree with that.
I do wish we had pizza in space. That's true.
Just saying, all the space stuff is like, hey, this is 500 years in the future. We all have very distinct modern day accents.
You know what's amazing to me? If I listen back to our podcasts, you and I are almost never talking about the same thing. If we compare two things, I continue on in one direction with the comparison, and you most of the time
I gotta
continue
keep
on
it
in the other
interesting,
one.
man.
I have to get because I had no idea what you're talking about. I was still talking about Overlord, and you were talking.
No, you're
about
talking
Anthem.
about the New York guy.
And then you
Not-
jumped to space and
Yeah.
pizza.
They
which,
were in
yeah,
space,
the-
and he was a New York
not
guy.
an
New York
Overlord.
guy was not in Anthem. He was in Overlord. So we're talking about the New York guy.
Oh, from what you said,
Overlord.
I swore you said there was a New York guy in Anthem.
And
No.
and Anthem isn't necessarily in space. It's on a planet. We don't know what the planet is. It's
According to everything
not
I've
in
seen,
space.
if
you never go.
if it's
off
a
the
planet other than Earth, you're in space.
It could be Earth.
Earth is in space by that logic. If being
No
on
way.
a planet counts as being in space,
If you have spaceships, it counts as being in space.
they don't have
They don't have
spaceships.
spaceships.
They
In
never
Anthem,
show a
there was
spaceship.
no spaceship.
No,
There were, as far as I recall, no. There were walker things.
They're
They were
just like, hey, we got over here and now we're stuck.
they didn't even say over here. They might be
could-
from that planet.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There's no indication that it's an alien planet at all.
All right.
yeah.
I don't know what to tell you.
Well, I never played that game that much. So fuck it.
It's just funny. You and I have done this at least
pizza.
3 or 4 other
I
times.
was only
where
going
we were
off,
comparing a thing,
yeah.
and you just go space pizza, and I was like, "What are you talking? I'm talking about the New York."
You
guy.
said, haha, that was funny.
There's a
You know what? I totally agreed with you. I totally just.
I
with
thought
it
you
'cause
said there was a goddamn New York person in Anthem. And I was
There's
like,
a solid chunk in episode 7 where we sound like we're on cocaine because for like several minutes we're always having 2 or more conversations at the same time, and then one of us goes, "Wait, what was that conversation that you guys were having over there? I was having a different," and then we just keep going back and forth, and it's pretty good podcasting, you guys.
Now we did it again.
We nailed it.
honestly, yeah, whatever. We keep going. There's New York guy in Overlord. Sorry.
Yeah.
And now my space
He's
comment
really
doesn't make any
defensive
goddamn
of
sense.
his, what was the thing
No,
he was like really
no, he's like,
upset
I don't
about?
play baseball, but he got $5 and a pool stick. And I'm
That's
like,
what he
okay,
did.
I'll poke
Yeah.
you. I'm like, okay.
New York guy doesn't like baseball.
Yep.
Thanks for being a dick to that,
That was his-
Yeah.
mute
He
child
was
for no reason.
needlessly hostile to that
Just-
like
just throw
defenseless
the-
mute child who was like
You know all the
surviving
kid
in the
wanted?
Nazi occupation.
He was even happy when the Nazis spit on the ball and threw it at him.
was like,
He's like, yay, you played with
He
me.
played catch,
You
technically.
hocked
Like
a
a
loop.
happy little dog.
He was like, well, it's kind of gross, but throw it, please.
Just
Like,
once.
Yeah, the main character just rolled the ball back at him. Like he smelled it, and the kid was like, that's fucking weird. And then he rolled it back. And
This
the
was
kid like,
before the
"Yay."
spit, by the way.
Yeah, this was. Yeah,
That's-
that would make way more sense if he's like, reminds me of home, and it's the spitball. He rolls it back.
No, the main character liked baseball. That's why he was the main character. He was a good everyman who
Yep.
liked baseball
Yeah.
and wasn't a jerk to children.
Yep.
that was his
And he
defining
cared about
feature.
his mom. Yep. He was a good
Liked his mom.
good person. Just a generic that guy.
And
He didn't like killing until he had to, and then he could do it.
Yep, he was real good at it.
They made sure to point that out.
Yeah, he
They're
was
like,
totally capable when the obligation fell upon him
Yeah.
to handle business. Business got handled.
yep.
we're sounding kind of cynical, but it was
Yeah,
fine.
It was a pretty
actually
good movie.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm the only one who didn't really like him very much, but I'm more on the side of the characters who are like, shut up. Just let the Nazi do the bad thing. We're hiding.
Let the Nazi do the bad thing.
We're hiding, fucker.
Brooks, 2019.
Whatever.
No, yeah. Obviously, he was dumb and like emotional, and
Yeah.
made the wrong whatever stuff.
If he wasn't the main guy, I'm pretty sure whoever the blonde dude with the scar on his face would have
Yeah,
killed him.
The demolitions expert.
Yes. The guy who had been through some shit and who was like a really hard 25-year-old. I didn't know how old he was, but he didn't look that old. And it was like,
Can we have that be?
he was
the
very
first
jaded.
one? A really hard 25-year-old.
hey.
Okay, that'll go in the catalog of quotes.
Yeah.
No, I enjoyed that movie. It was.
I liked it.
It seemed lower budget than it probably was.
Yeah.
It was
I
still-
guess they didn't have too much. Wasn't too much CG. It was mostly just makeups and stuff, right? Like physical effects.
Yeah, only like
Practical
2
effects.
settings.
Yeah,
Yeah.
except for I did really like the final look for the main villain. I thought he looked pretty cool. Pretty gross.
Yeah, he
Gone.
got shot in the face and then turned immortal, so
Yeah.
he's pretty gross looking.
Which is pretty cool.
It's good. That's a good character arc.
Yeah.
Be a Nazi,
And
get
get your
shot in the
ripped off
face,
and still be
be
real mad.
yeah.
Ah! And just still really committed to that whole Nazi thing. I'm gross and immortal. I'll be a Nazi forever.
I don't know, that was the goal.
Yeah.
That was what they were trying to do there. I guess I would be gross if I could be immortal.
Yeah.
That would be a fair trade-off.
Yeah. I'm just not going to shower or have a face.
Yeah, I mean, does it sting? I
It
guess.
probably hurts really bad.
Yeah.
Well, no. That
'Cause-
one guy had a bullet. And he was like, I don't feel it.
Yeah.
He's probably fine.
So yeah, it's fine.
He's probably fine. Doesn't
Yeah.
feel
Until
fucking
he
thing.
didn't have a head anymore, he was fine up
Yeah.
until that point with whatever was going on.
Yeah. He was mostly just confused. That guy was like, what is happening? Why am I so strong? I'm so strong I broke my neck and then brought it back. Nothing can hurt me.
You know what? Circle back around to the beginning. Yeah, they could have cut out some of the being an asshole Nazi thing.
We already know.
Yeah.
We already fucking know. Just make him do one thing.
They didn't need
like,
to be
oh,
like,
that's fucking
he's
bad.
he's a bad Nazi. He's a really bad guy.
I can
and
write you
also a
one
Nazi.
5-minute scene with a group of Nazis. You don't. That's it. You got 5 minutes. They're all bad.
By the same token, they also really had to over-explain the fact that they were like monster zombie things because he spent like a solid 10 to 15 minutes stealthily exploring their secret lab and going like, whoa, that's crazy. Let me look at that. That's also crazy. Look at that guy. That guy's really crazy. And like they just kept showing different examples.
I kind of like that because it's like, yeah, that shit is fucking crazy. That lady has no fucking body, and it's just a neck. It's just a spine and a head. Just going,
that was nuts. but by the same token, that we don't need to be explained that Nazis are bad. We also don't need to be explained what zombies are.
Yeah.
Like he looked at a serum. It's got weird liquid in it.
Yeah, I got it.
There's a zombie that they injected it with. Okay, I got it.
I would have taken a thing where he picks it up and he looks over and goes, "For real?"
Yeah,
like,
that would have been good. And I get what's happening
this
here.
person that you saw die is alive. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's what the serum must do. Like it all explains itself. They did. They certainly could have.
I would have taken a sign like, "Oh, they're evil and they're scientists." Like what? Like something like that.
Yeah.
I hate all this stuff like where the audience knows so like we've seen a million of this like zombie shit. Takes 25 minutes to figure out that they're all screamers or whatever the fuck they call them. Just call them zombies. They're motherfucking zombies. Everybody knows. Get on with your zombie movie.
We get it. Okay.
What new cool thing can you do with a zombie movie? Like that's why I like the neck lady. I've never seen that before.
The neck lady.
Yeah,
the
just
person with an exposed spine.
Yeah, that was fucking cool. And she was like, "I'm in a lot of pain," and he's like, "You look like it. I'm gonna run away.
I'm running. This is bye.
Good
luck.
I'm gonna close this sheet on you now, and I guess you now stop talking." That's how.
Don't tell anyone I was here.
Yes. Shush. Bye. I wasn't here. An accurate 1950s, she would be like, or 1940s. Hey, there was a black guy here. It's just the neck lady, and they're like, "What?" They're just going everywhere. Like, there's a black guy. It's just like, oh my god.
Yeah.
That's 1940s, man. Not now.
But it's still sad.
Yeah, it's sad. That's why we don't live back then anymore.
That's why we chose not to do that.
Yeah, we're in the future. Everything's good. Yeah. We're good to go.
Oh, yeah, I'm fine with that explanation.
Yeah. That's why we don't live then. We're good. Didn't have to make sense. I got it.
Anyway, Overlord.
It's on sale right now if you want to rent it on Amazon for $3. But it won't be when you listen to this. Totally worth $3.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was,
Yeah, it's good.
A good movie about war on zombies.
We might, though, just be a little spoiled after those Wolfenstein games, which were batshit crazy.
Oh, yeah.
From the word go.
Like,
Step one.
Yeah, and then we go watch
everything's crazy.
Oh, and then
Two giant robot dogs.
Yeah, there's
step three. Like,
I got to say, it wasn't as crazy as Mandy.
You know what?
Just go watch Mandy and just pretend they're Nazis, and it's a better movie.
Just pretend those
It's a better
people
world.
are Nazis.
It's a better World War II movie. Okay, maybe that's not true, but
Nazi. Mandy was just a crazy movie. You guys listened to the previous thing. You already know. We already know.
We talked about that.
We've done this.
yeah. Or you watched it. I doubt they did that.
No one would listen to us talk about a thing and go, yeah, I should take their advice on this.
It's literally called Everything Bad. So if we're discussing it, it's inherently not good.
Everything we like sucks. Everything else is really good, but we just don't like it.
So
It's true that I don't like things that people think are good. That is true.
We have not done any sort of call to action to listeners to send us an email so that we can.
Did you want to?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. This is called.
If you know Ellen Page.
We already got that.
Yeah,
Okay, never mind.
either go to the website, theinternetisanightmare.com, and click on the little mail icon. It's an envelope, not a human mail. Anyway.
So, Matt, how do we get listeners to send us mail?
Send us an email at everythingbad@theinternetisanightmare.com, and that will get to us, and we will respond or not, but most likely respond.
We're not popular enough not to.
Way to neg yourself. Jeez.
Said we.
Way to neg all of us.
Yeah, all of us. Thanks for. I do like being included.
Also, somebody listen to this, please. That's pretty cool.
We're working on it. It's available to listen in several different locations at this point in time. Not the least of which is theinternetisannightmare.com.
That's the internet is a nightmare.com.
Oh, that's pretty good. I can't beat that.
You haven't listened to any of the podcasts, have
No, I
you?
have.
Because he does that.
Yeah, but I only added that after editing
He doesn't.
the new ones. It's fine.
But
That's at the end of every podcast.
Oh, there's a new thing.
Yeah.
yeah. But iTunes, Spotify, Google, the big places people get podcasts, you can get our podcast. So go get our podcast. You wouldn't be hearing this if you didn't already have our podcast.
Go back in time and tell yourself before you knew about us to listen to this.
Did you bring a game today?
No, like I said on the way over, I thought
He had a plan for the whole Marvel
I thought
thing
we were
that
going
I
to talk
didn't
about
do.
Marvel for too long, so I didn't.
I kind of
didn't
messed
bring a
that up.
game.
So,
I got a game for you.
all right.
It's Scrabble.
Guess a number. What number am I thinking of?
7.
3.
It was obviously 7.
Yeah, I know. What he already said 7.
Tiebreaker. Now what number am I thinking of?
7.
1.
It was 3.
Hey, Price is Right rules.
Oh, you tied for this
Yep.
this game. Good
Oh,
job,
look at that
everybody.
game. That's a pretty good game.
This is a good game.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sorry, I was going to bring a game. I just thought we were tight on time.
Yeah.
Well, you guys can talk about it if you want me to leave.
No,
Because I can go to the bathroom for like 20 minutes.
get some clicker time in.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I got Clash Royale I could play. I haven't opened any boxes today.
So tell us about Clash Royale.
It's pretty fun.
Good summary.
It's just it's a very simple strategy game that is really quick, one-on-one PvP multiplayer game. And there's a lot of progression that I enjoy. But I keep getting stuck, and then I have to spend $5 because that's how those games work. So far, I've spent $15 over the course of 3 years.
hooked you.
I've given them $15.
Yeah, still,
after 3
you've
years.
paid for a free to play game, so
Yeah.
I think that they should be
they got
thankful.
me.
Yeah,
Honestly, it's so good that they can have my $15.
nice.
They should probably have more of my money, but they'll get it
Yeah.
next year. It's pretty good.
I've spent more on worse things, as I like to say.
You, Brooks, have personally spent more on bad alcohol for this podcast than you have on Clash Royale.
By a lot.
Yeah.
By a very large amount.
Well, bad alcohol.
Needless quantifier. That's fine.
Hey, it's cool. I've talked shit about things that probably aren't any worse than bullet bourbon.
Is that what we're drinking again? 2 podcasts in a row? Because we cut this podcast in half. So
Yeah, we didn't
are we
drink.
drinking bullet bourbon
Yeah,
again?
we're drinking
this
bullet
episode?
bourbon
Okay.
again.
Yep.
Because this
I-
is totally a different episode than the last one, you guys.
I totally forgot to bring another one, and that was my fault because now I'm sad because I don't have alcohol.
That's depressants for you.
Yeah,
Depressants?
Yeah.
I call them
alcohol
I call them
Alcohol's a
depressants.
depressant.
Yeah.
It's not a stimulant. You're not like, woo, let's go do push-ups.
But you said that's depressants.
He said, I'm sad because I don't have alcohol. And I said, that's depressants for you.
Yeah.
So
That's grammatically confusing. That's all. That's depression is what I thought you were trying to say.
nope. I'm going to mix those two.
Okay.
I think of alcohol as depresent, like a gift. That's stupid. You can delete that, please.
I love when you say something and you're like, this is going to be, nope, I feel bad now.
Burn the evidence, please.
Yeah.
Is it weird that I'm kind of afraid of Ellen Page now?
Everything I've seen her in says she has superpowers. So
That is true. She is kind of a superhero and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's not acting.
Not real powers, though.
It's funny. Everybody else needs, special effects and CG. They just bring her in and she kicks ass and lights things on fire or
All right.
whatever.
Did she end up getting a power in that other show?
Oh, you never
Umbrella
watched
Academy?
Umbrella Academy?
I'm not gonna. Just tell me.
Yeah, she's kind of like the main
She has
focal
all.
point.
Does she have all the
Yeah.
powers?
She's got the big one.
Okay.
You know, like in Heroes, how one of them had the big one that they were like,
Yeah.
Oh, that
save
person's
the
the important one.
cheerleader, save the world.
she's that one.
Oh, okay. She can. She's Wolverine.
No.
Okay. What is her power?
She's
I am blank
God,
as well.
Is she strong or something?
she can control sound but sound is everywhere, so she can sort of explode the entire planet.
Right.
With,
Oh,
with
so she can,
sound
like,
waves.
vibrate stuff?
It's kind of like that.
Oh, she can
and she
vibrate
can
stuff to
also
death.
manipulate people's brains with sound, and that's why she's a musician. She's a violinist. That's like her superpower
Oh.
can be.
Can she
Mind
harness it
hypnotize you,
through
kind of?
the violin?
Yeah, she does
Points
that.
that violin at people and goes, and their heads explode?
No.
She doesn't do that exact thing, but she does use the violin bow to cut someone's neck
That's pretty cool.
with
Oh,
a sound
yeah.
wave. She goes,
that's
"Wah,"
right.
whips it out.
She got mad.
Just air slices through someone's neck.
It sounds like a decent Mortal Kombat character.
You guys want to talk about that now?
No, we don't have to. It's
I'm not
a
going
thing
to have
playing.
anything to add to that conversation, and I'm not going to get anything to add to that conversation.
I'm enjoying it a decent amount.
That's
I didn't
cool.
play it
We're
last
talking
night.
about Mortal Kombat 11.
Are you playing the story?
Yeah, it's very B movie quality story, and
The story is
if you like
nonsense.
that, it's fine.
It's just fucking stupid.
well
but
done
It's
besides
very
that.
well done.
Yeah,
The story is dumb, but cinematics are great.
they don't stick with anything for long enough for it to even be considered a plot point.
Yeah.
So their past selves are in now their same timeline, and so some of the new characters will be like, "Oh yeah, I forgot you're not my wife because she died." Anyway, and you're just like,
He's like, you're still hot though, and I'd bang in. She's
Yeah.
like, what?
yeah, like they'll just point out that something is a plot point and then move on. I was
Yeah.
like, that's a plot. Okay, on to the fighting, and like
Yeah.
it's pretty fun.
Have you gotten to Sonya Blade yet, where you have to play her?
No.
Okay.
I got to the point where they're at the robot ninja factory,
Yeah. Can you make 1,000 of these, please?
and the background of that stage is just constant robot ninjas being manufactured behind you.
That is pretty cool.
While you fight.
I also like how one of the guys who previously in the game, I thought he was already a robot, but I guess he wasn't. And then he was turned into a robot. And then, so they ripped off a robot part that then allowed him to have his real personality. And he went, shit,
Yeah.
I'm a robot.
Yeah, because he didn't realize, I guess.
And then the guy said, it doesn't matter if you're a robot or not. You're accepted
you
into the
gotta help
Jin
us.
Kuei or whatever the fuck they said.
Yeah.
And you're like,
he's like, okay, cool.
cool,
And then he just
that's all I wanted, actually.
about it, yeah.
I was just really insecure about this robot. It's actually pretty cool.
yeah.
I can crush things with my hands.
So it's like when Jamie knighted Brienne.
Huh?
Okay, keep going. Sorry.
Did you expect one of us to know that?
What the fuck is that?
Keep going.
No, you gotta tell me what that is.
No, you got to live with this interjection that you've made.
I'm trying to.
Is
Was
this
that a Game of Thrones reference?
It was a Game of Thrones.
Okay, cool.
reference.
Okay.
So you specifically knew we wouldn't get it,
Yes.
and you expected us to
All
be
right, no,
like,
that's cool.
Yes, and
like ignore it,
Man.
or what? What
I
did you
don't
expect?
even really feel bad.
No, you should. No, it's fine.
So the robot factory, the robot
Brienne.
that didn't know was
Is that the guy who can't move but can roll his eyes back?
that's Bran.
Oh, and who?
That's a
who'd
very
you say?
similar name. To
It is.
You say
I-
Brienne?
Brienne of Tarth.
Is that a girl?
Yeah.
Okay.
from Tarth.
Yeah, I have been
That's
to
what I'm
Tarth a couple
gathering.
times.
Tormund's super into her.
Yeah, Tarth.
That does sound like a Mortal Kombat plot.
Honestly,
Because Liu Kang and Katana were both turned evil, and they had their own
Yeah.
cathedral in the underworld that generated.
I think they
power
were
for
really
them.
happy there.
Yeah, they seemed pretty happy.
They're
They
like,
had
this
like
is
a,
cool. We're
like
gonna
a
have
demon
kids.
army.
We're gonna have demon babies.
I don't know why Sonya Blade had to go blow it up.
I also do not
Jerk.
understand how these human people keep beating these people that are not humans. And they keep stabbing them and stuff, and then the humans are like, I'm cool. I guess some of them somehow have powers. I missed that.
Yeah, I think most
Johnny-
of them have powers.
Johnny Cage has
They
some
all at
green
least
power.
have hubris,
Yes.
Is that a power?
I guess. I keep interjecting. I'm sorry.
I'll bet there's one Mortal Kombat character that's not.
You played
full of
Mortal
themselves.
Kombat? It's almost the same thing, just newer.
Yeah. The last Mortal Kombat I played had a guy named something like Tomahawk or Thunderclap or something, and he was
Thunderclap.
Are you talking about
Blue.
Killer Instinct?
No, there was also a Native American character in there who is overly
okay.
stereotypical
I
for
know.
no reason.
Night Wolf is what
he
you're
had like
thinking
a
of.
headdress on. or
Night
something.
Wolf is the
yeah,
one you're thinking
Night
of.
Wolf.
Yeah.
That's the last Mortal Kombat I
There-
played.
There's a super hardcore cowboy character though, Aaron Black. He's fine.
He's fine.
I personally don't like
he
him
has
that
a
much.
gun, whatever.
I'm more of like a noob Cybot character. I want him to have like cool liquid soul powers. Pretty neat.
It is baffling that literal gods are competing against humans, though.
Yeah, I know.
in this fight.
Just story wise, it's total nonsense. But I like it.
Yeah.
The fighting is great. It's extremely good.
I dislike what they did to the like X-ray things because they're
Why is
not
that?
X-rays anymore. They're
like Punisher.
more boring now, in my
what do you
opinion.
mean? In the middle of the fight?
Those those kind of attack where you get low on health, whatever that's
the
called.
final blow or whatever.
That final that you get low on health and then you can trigger it and then you just do basically a cutscene to them and it's
Yeah. You do a cutscene to them.
it's never
Cutscene the verb.
yeah. So far they've all been pretty boring.
You cutscene their bar down.
Yeah.
I guess there's not as many of them as there used to be. I like what they did to the game though, because now it's just at the very end and everybody has it and it's not connected to a meter. Because if you got good at Mortal Kombat X, then you basically never did those because you can enhance moves with the same bar. So now they just have separate bars for everything, and then you can only do it at the very end, which works pretty good.
Yeah, but it does guarantee that you almost do it every single match because someone has to lose enough health to lose. So someone gets to trigger it every time.
In higher end fights, it's very hard to actually hit that though.
Oh, okay.
It's very easy to block most of the time if you know the character you're fighting.
Yeah.
So it's more of like
that's past the line of where I'm going to get with this game, I think. Is to know which other attack the other character is going to use. I'm not going to get.
I haven't played it enough to know all the characters yet. Yeah, once you actually know like what distance that is for every character, and you probably played the game a lot.
Yeah,
you're probably pretty good.
You're more dedicated than I have if you do that.
I mostly just try to learn my one character, and then hopefully I win. If I can beat hard, I'm pretty satisfied because there's a
That's
large
what she said.
jump.
Wait, sorry.
Hey.
The only thing I can really contribute to this conversation is that I played Injustice and
almost the same
Injustice
thing.
2, and all I figured out how to do in that game is go into the training mode and train with the characters to try to unlock different types of pants. And then
You never learned how to play this story?
No, I didn't play the story at all. I just went into the training mode.
You said that's all you could figure out how to do.
Yeah.
The main menu, I think, says play the story.
Yeah, I didn't do any of that.
Okay.
So I went into the training mode and tried to play it as certain characters to try to unlock their different moves. So I ended up playing as this big giant red guy made out of rocks.
Oh, yeah, that guy was all... And he had a cat. I don't know. Yeah, the dude had a cat.
All right.
Who shot lasers.
I never saw that. I just could not get the combo that was required for like the second thing. So I decided
the
I wasn't.
second combo in the game.
Yeah, so I got a new outfit for Joker by playing as his dumb thing, but I kept trying to go back to the giant red guy to play as his thing, and then I gave up on the game.
Oh.
Because
The best thing to do when it comes to a fighting
all
game.
that stuff done. And so if I wasn't going to get all of it done, I wasn't going to get any more of it done.
That makes sense.
And I could not.
If I can't get all the pants, I'm not playing this game.
Well, I couldn't figure out the combos, so I presumed the game and I were not going to ever come to terms with each other on what combos
I think what you
are
did
and how they worked.
wrong, you should have gone in and played some just low-level fights against some AI just for fun for a couple hours.
Why would I? I mean, why would I do that? I would just
To
not.
get used to the game.
Why would I do the fun part of the game?
Yeah, why would I?
That is a good question.
That's the fighting
Well,
game, dude.
I wouldn't know
Everything-
what I'm doing. I'm just mashing buttons.
Well, yeah, you do that
that's-
for a little
that's
bit, and
fine.
then you learn timings, and you're like, okay, now I'm gonna go learn some combos.
I don't want
Try
to
out
just
the
mash
characters.
buttons and watch bright shiny lights.
So you want to start off with
As
your
the
first
best
fight
player.
by executing every move perfectly and then getting a flawless victory? Is that what you want to do?
No, I want to know how to do anything with the character, because if you don't know how those characters work, there's just things flying around the screen and little flags and nonsense, and some other character shows up and shoots a laser, and then a fish appears. And you're just like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. And that's fighting games now. And so I decided I would actually like to figure out how to make it so that the thing that I do with my thumbs on the controller causes a thing to happen on the screen that I have at least marginally predictable.
Yeah.
And I could not do that.
Also,
Yeah, I
earn
feel-
pants.
And
That's a bonus.
also, I like to collect fashion things.
I feel like
So-
though, like it's almost like you grabbed a skateboard and you're like, instead of pushing around in this driveway, I'm gonna just drop into this 10-foot tall pool and just try to get it.
And halfway down, I took all the wheels off of it.
Yeah, and I just gave up.
And then just disassembled it into its
Just
basic
never been on a
pieces
skateboard.
and sorted it by color, and then went, all right.
Let me figure out how to ride a skateboard now.
That's skateboarding. I've deconstructed the skateboard, and now I know.
Well, if I can't do the mega ramp, I'm not fucking doing it. It's like, okay.
Yeah. Well, We've
Yeah.
long established I do not play games the way a normal person plays games, and I'm not good at them.
I got you.
So I keep trying in spite of these inherent personal failings that I have when it comes to playing video games. But I
was just trying to suggest something that I thought might be somewhat enjoyable.
Again, I hate fun.
All right.
I'm not
Yeah, I
good
got
at
you.
the fun part of the game thing.
Yeah.
So
What's fun is the first Mortal Kombat and stuff. You try all the characters and fight them all, and then you're like, I saw their crazy moves.
Well,
Because the moves are the best at the beginning.
If they're relying on me to pull off the moves, I'm not going to see anything.
Well, if you fight against that person, they'll pull the move off.
Okay.
And you can watch it. You're like, oh, fuck it. You just ripped me in half. That was cool.
There is a
that
much
point in
better
time, I could
tutorial in this game, though.
I could just watch YouTube.
Yeah,
or
That's true.
go over to someone else's house and go, hey, you play this game, I'll watch.
Just
All right.
break into their house. Here's a copy of Mortal Kombat. Play it. They're like, this is the best break-in I've ever heard. And you're like tied up.
This home invasion is going extremely well.
This is amazing.
Mortal
is this
Kombat.
Stockholm Syndrome?
Is this
I'm gonna put in a pizza. I'm gonna put in a
like
pizza.
it.
What kind do you want?
Yeah, I like this
space pizza?
Space pizza.
That's the kind that I want. Because I'm from New York.
That is how it
That's
works.
the right accent, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good.
it's the right one.
Nailed it.
Oh my goodness.
Buongiorno.
Actually, this episode should be called Space Pizza for sure.
No, I think it's multiple purple butt chins.
Honestly, I can't tell what was said in each episode,
I
so
don't know.
it's a puzzle. This might be 3 bonus episodes and 1 regular episode for all the random jumping around we did.
That sounds like an episode to me.
Episodes are. They're good conversations or bad conversations chopped out of coherent conversations.
But they're a part that's isolated, so that if you remove them, it doesn't affect anything.
Right.
Gotcha.
And we've had a lot of those. Yeah, you could just take that whole chunk out.
That is how we talk. Nothing really
Yeah,
jump from one thing to the next.
move on.
Next thing.
Random word association
Yeah.
combined with rambling, incoherent, partial sentences. That's my big thing that I keep not doing well is finishing a whole sentence.
Sometimes I make it sound like you did, though,
Yeah.
because you'll come back to it later and I'll cut those 2 pieces together.
Yeah.
So we all sound way smarter in the podcast than we are in real life.
Hell yeah. I'll take that because I need it.
Good.
Also, be ashamed because
We sound like babbling jackasses.
we still sound like jackasses.
Oh,
in the
yeah.
podcast.
I figured I would.
Well, that was episode Who Gives a Shit?
That was episode 8, 9, or 10,
Yeah.
plus bonus episode 5 through 7, maybe. Good luck.
I think we should just give up on counting.
Well, sure.
Yeah. These were episodes.
Yeah, this was content. Enjoy
This
this
was
content.
This is the best I can do.
Yeah.
What you just heard was Everything Bad. For more information and bonus episodes, go to theinternetisAnightmare.com.